Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Mark adjusted his helmet as the metallic corridor of the space station stretched ahead, its walls glowing with faint blue light. This station was unlike any human installation he had worked in before. The structure orbited an alien planet shrouded in dense, violet clouds, and rumors said it housed technology far beyond Earth's reach. Mark's job was simple in theory: repair a malfunctioning energy conduit on the upper deck. In practice, everything felt wrong. The air smelled faintly metallic, tinged with an alien fragrance he could not identify. Every step echoed, bouncing off the curved walls, making him hyper-aware of his own presence. The station was mostly empty at this hour. Few humans were allowed in this sector, and alien crews rarely tolerated intrusions. Mark had to be careful. As he turned a corner, a sudden sound caught his attention. A soft metallic click, followed by a swish. He froze. From the shadows emerged a tall figure. Her skin shimmered faintly in iridescent green and violet, her eyes reflecting the corridor lights like twin stars. She moved with grace that seemed unnatural, almost liquid in motion. "Get your hands off my ass, human!" she shouted, spinning toward him with a sharp gesture. Mark stumbled backward, hands raised. I didn't," he stammered, eyes wide. The alien woman's gaze pinned him like a predator sizing up prey. Her expression was a mix of anger and disbelief. Mark noticed the intricate tattoos along her arms, symbols glowing faintly, perhaps indicating rank or affiliation. Every instinct told him not to anger her further. Before he could speak again, she waved him forward. Confused, Mark hesitated. "Come into my room," she said, her voice low but commanding. There was no malice now, only authority and curiosity. He followed cautiously, the corridor narrowing as they approached a door adorned with strange symbols. As it slid open, a soft hum filled the room, emanating from a series of panels and holographic devices that lined the walls. The room smelled faintly of ozone and something floral, a combination he found oddly soothing. "I'm Lyra," she said simply, her eyes never leaving his. "You've got skills. We'll see if they're enough." Mark swallowed, trying to mask his nervousness. "I'm here to repair the conduit. That's all." Lyra's lips curved slightly. "It's never just about a conduit, human. Things are happening on this station you're not aware of. And now, because of you, they might escalate." Mark's curiosity piqued despite his fear. "What do you mean?" She gestured to a console glowing softly on the far wall. "This station has a security AI that monitors everything. It's failing. If we don't fix it, the entire sector could be compromised. Drones will patrol without coordination, life support could falter, and there's a high probability of total shutdown. You're the only human with experience in systems compatible enough to help me." Mark's mind raced. He wasn't supposed to deal with alien security protocols. His training covered human stations, not artificial intelligence that could learn and adapt on its own. "I don't know if I can." "Then start learning," Lyra interrupted sharply. Her tone left no room for argument. She moved behind him, pointing to a holographic interface. "This is the override system. You input commands incorrectly, and it could lock us out permanently. I'll guide you. Watch closely." For the next several minutes, Mark studied the system. Lines of glowing code shifted rapidly, incomprehensible symbols mingling with familiar logic structures. He typed cautiously, following Lyra's instructions. She hovered nearby, eyes scanning every movement, offering guidance in clipped, precise phrases. Suddenly, the floor beneath them trembled. A low rumble echoed through the room. Lyra's ears flicked slightly, a subtle motion Mark barely noticed. She stiffened. "They're coming," she said, voice tense. "Patrol drones are scanning this sector. If they detect unauthorized presence here, it won't matter what we do. We'll be trapped." Mark's heart pounded. He had worked in high-risk situations before, but nothing like this. The feeling of being hunted by unseen machines added a level of urgency that made his hands shake. Lyra's gaze softened slightly, a fleeting moment of acknowledgement. "Stay focused. Panic won't help, and don't touch anything you're not instructed to." Mark nodded. His mind whirled as he followed her directions, entering sequences into the interface. Each correct input caused a subtle shift in the holographic display, the colors stabilizing, the lines of code aligning into a recognizable pattern. It was working, slowly but surely. Minutes passed like hours. Outside, he could hear the faint hum of machinery, the mechanical footsteps of drones patrolling nearby. Lyra kept glancing toward the door, ready to react at any sign of intrusion. Her movements were precise, economical, and almost predatory. Mark couldn't help but admire her skill, though he reminded himself it was no time for distraction. Finally, a sequence completed successfully. The main panel lit up in steady green. "It's stabilizing," Mark whispered. Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Not enough. The AI will reset in 30 minutes unless we finish the secondary override. That's your next task. No mistakes." Mark took a deep breath and leaned toward the interface. He could do this. He had to. The fate of the station, and possibly many lives, depended on his ability to navigate this alien system. Lyra stepped closer, her presence both reassuring and intimidating. "I trust you, human. But remember, one misstep, and there's no undoing this. Are you ready?" Mark nodded. He had never felt so responsible, so vulnerable, yet strangely empowered. He had faced difficult situations before, but this was different. The stakes were higher, the environment alien, and the consequences severe. As he worked, Lyra spoke in a low, almost conversational tone, explaining how the AI had been designed to monitor not only the station systems but also the behavior of all personnel. She described anomalies in its logic, corruption in certain modules, and patterns of errors that could spell disaster if left unchecked. Mark listened intently, absorbing everything while keeping his hands steady. Suddenly, a loud metallic clang echoed from the hallway outside. Both froze. Mark's pulse raced. Lyra's ears twitched. "They're closer," she whispered. "We need to accelerate." Hands moving faster but carefully, Mark input the next sequence. The interface flickered violently, threatening to reset. Lyra's eyes darted between him and the door, calculating the time they had. Her expression was unreadable but commanding. A sharp alarm suddenly blared through the station. Red lights flashed, bathing the room in a crimson glow. Mark froze mid-input. Lyra's hand shot out, guiding his fingers. "Almost there. Don't stop now." The hum of drones grew louder. Shadows of mechanical limbs moved along the corridor, scanning, searching, relentless. Mark's fingers flew over the console, entering code with a precision he didn't know he possessed. Finally, the system stabilized. The alarms ceased. Green lights replaced red, and the drone's patrol shifted away. The immediate danger had passed, at least for now. Lyra exhaled, a rare sound of relief. "You did well. Not perfect, but enough to survive this encounter." Mark leaned back, heart pounding, sweat trickling down his temple. "We're safe, for now." Lyra's gaze met his, steady and intense. "Safe doesn't exist here, human. Not fully, but survival is about adapting. You've adapted well so far." A silence settled between them, charged with unspoken tension. Mark realized this encounter had changed everything. He had come to repair a conduit, but he had become part of something far larger, a hidden struggle between human ingenuity and alien authority. Then Lyra's expression softened slightly. "You'll need to rest soon, but I want you awake for the next phase. There's more to do, and it's not just about code. Trust must be earned." Mark nodded, understanding that this was only the beginning. Whatever lay ahead, he would face it alongside this enigmatic alien woman. For the first time, he felt both the thrill and terror of being on the frontier of human and alien collaboration. The room's soft hum returned, lights steady, and outside the door, the station seemed quiet again. But both knew it was only temporary. Danger lurked in every corridor, and the AI they had tamed today might rise again tomorrow. Mark glanced at Lyra once more. She was both beautiful and formidable, her presence a constant reminder that in this station, humans were neither superior nor weak, they were pivotal. And in that delicate balance, he found purpose, fear, and an unexpected excitement he could not deny. The scene faded on their figures, working silently, preparing for whatever challenge the station, or the universe, would throw at them next. The station's corridors were silent except for the soft hum of ventilation and the distant clatter of machinery. Mark followed Lyra closely, his senses sharpened by the recent near disaster. Every shadow seemed alive, every turn potentially lethal. The red warning lights had faded, replaced by a faint bluish glow that reflected off the metallic walls. Even with the immediate danger past, tension lingered in the air, thick and unrelenting. Lyra moved with effortless grace, her feet making no sound on the smooth floor. Her eyes darted constantly, scanning, calculating, anticipating. Mark felt a mix of admiration and apprehension. He had learned quickly that she was not only skilled but highly intelligent. Underestimating her could be fatal. We need to reach the secondary hub, Lyra said, her voice low but firm. The AI's deeper modules are still unstable. If we leave it unchecked, it could override everything we just fixed. Mark nodded. Lead the way. I'll follow. They entered a wider section of the station, where walls curved into arches and bioluminescent panels bathed the corridor in soft green light. Strange patterns moved across the panels, shifting as though alive, creating a surreal effect that made it hard to focus. Stay close, Lyra warned. Sensors detect intrusions, but not all patrols rely on AI. Some are organic. They can think, adapt. Mark shivered. He had imagined drones, machines, systems, but living beings with alien instincts hunting them added a terrifying dimension. After several minutes, they reached a junction where multiple passages converged. Lyra stopped, pressing her palm against a wall interface. Symbols glowed under her touch, and a hidden door slid open silently. Beyond it lay a chamber filled with glowing machinery, tubes running like veins along the walls, and a central console that pulsed with energy. This is it, Lyra said. The control center for the security AI's core. Everything is linked here. We can either stabilize the system or risk catastrophic failure. Mark approached the console, eyes scanning the alien interface. Lines of code moved in real time, colors shifting unpredictably. His training helped him recognize patterns, but the language of this technology was foreign. He hesitated. Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder. I've seen you adapt quickly, human. Trust yourself. Follow my guidance, and we survive. Hesitation could be fatal. Mark exhaled and started working. Inputting commands, rerouting power, and monitoring feedback, he felt the familiar rush of focus. Every correct action caused the pulsing console to stabilize slightly, yet the tension remained. Something about the system felt almost sentient, aware of their presence, testing their abilities. Minutes passed. The soft hum of energy filled the room. Then a series of alarms blared simultaneously. Red lights flashed, faster this time, more urgent. Mark froze mid-command. They're here, Lyra said sharply, spinning toward the door. Elite units. We've been detected. Now it's not just about stabilizing the AI. We fight or flee. Mark's mind raced. He had no combat training, yet he realized raw intelligence could be as effective as weapons in this environment. Lyra grabbed his arm, pulling him toward a side hatch. Follow me. Think. Don't panic. Every second counts. The hatch led to a narrow service corridor. Pipes and conduits ran along the walls, some sparking faintly. Mark moved quickly, following Lyra's lead. Outside, he could hear the mechanical footsteps of the elite units, the sound amplified in the station's metallic corridors. Lyra's movements were precise and fluid, dodging obstacles, leaping over low barriers, and scanning for exits. Mark tried to match her speed, his human agility surprisingly effective against the unfamiliar terrain. The chase felt endless, yet they kept moving, breathing controlled, senses alert. Finally, they reached a junction where the corridor split. Lyra pressed her palm against a panel. A hidden elevator emerged, its doors sliding open silently. This leads to the observation deck. From there, we can access the override terminal remotely. Mark followed her inside. The elevator moved smoothly upward, the faint vibration of engines beneath them the only sound. When the doors opened, they stepped onto a vast platform overlooking the planet below. Violet clouds swirled, lightning streaked faintly across the horizon, and the curvature of the world beneath them was visible. This is our advantage, Lyra said, pointing toward a console on the deck. From here, we can manipulate the AI's perception, guide patrols away, and prevent further lockdowns. Mark approached the terminal, his hands steady despite the adrenaline still coursing through him. Following Lyra's instructions, he rerouted THEAI's monitoring protocols, creating false signals, and stabilizing critical systems. Each successful adjustment caused a ripple of green light across the console, a tangible sign of progress. Lyra remained alert, scanning the observation windows, ready to react to any threat. You're learning fast, she noted. Human ingenuity isn't just useful, it's vital here. Mark smiled briefly. The praise was unexpected but motivating. He had always believed in human capability, but seeing it validated in such an alien environment reinforced his sense of purpose. Suddenly, a shadow passed across the deck. Elite guards were approaching, moving cautiously, their weapons emitting faint glows. Lyra tensed. Prepare yourself. We may have to fight. Mark's pulse quickened. He had never wielded a weapon against an alien before, yet he realized improvisation was key. Using the environment, he activated a nearby energy panel, sending a surge toward the guards. Sparks and light flared, momentarily blinding them. Lyra struck with precision, disabling 2 units silently. Mark's quick thinking had made the difference. The remaining guards retreated, reassessing their approach. Lyra and Mark seized the moment. Almost done, she urged. Finish the override. Mark focused, entering the final sequence of commands. Lines of alien code shifted rapidly, stabilizing, locking down critical systems. Alarms ceased. The station's security AI returned to a controlled, stable state. The immediate threat had ended, at least for now. Lyra exhaled, a rare moment of relief visible on her face. You've exceeded my expectations, human. I doubted you would adapt so quickly, yet here you are. Alive, effective, indispensable. Mark felt a mixture of pride and exhaustion. He had survived, but more importantly, he had contributed to saving a station far beyond his homeworld's technology. The two moved to a quieter area, away from observation decks and corridors. Lyra's expression softened. There's something I need to confess, she said, eyes serious. I didn't call you to my room initially out of anger. It was a test, not just of your skill, but of your judgment, composure, and courage. You passed. Barely, but you did. Mark blinked, processing her words. A test, he repeated. Lyra nodded. The station is filled with threats, not all visible. I needed to know if you could think under pressure, if humanity has the resilience I've been searching for. You answered that question. He let out a long breath, the tension of the last hour finally catching up. I didn't realize. Lyra smiled faintly. Few do. Most humans fail quickly. You didn't. That's why you're still here. That's why I trusted you with the secondary override. The two stood in silence, the glow of the alien panels illuminating their faces. A bond had formed, not friendship, not yet trust fully, but recognition. Each acknowledged the other's abilities, the importance of collaboration, and the fragile line between survival and failure. Finally, Lyra spoke again. There's more to this station, more secrets than I can reveal. You've proven capable, and soon, you will see why humans are essential here. But for now, rest. The AI is stable. You've earned it. Mark nodded, exhaustion heavy but satisfaction stronger. He realized that this experience had transformed him. He had arrived as a repair technician, an outsider in an alien environment. Now, he had become a participant in something far greater, a struggle of intelligence, adaptability, and courage where human ingenuity was not just helpful, but vital. Lyra's eyes lingered on him for a moment, sharp and calculating, yet there was a subtle respect present. Prepare yourself, human. The universe doesn't wait, neither do its challenges. Next time, we act with purpose, not reaction. Mark smiled faintly. I'll be ready. The room fell silent, the only sounds the gentle hum of alien machinery. Outside, the station orbited the violet planet, mysterious and dangerous, but for now, controlled. Both human and alien had proven their worth, survived together, and discovered the potential of collaboration across species. For Mark, the adventure had only begun. Lyra's challenge, the station's secrets, and the lurking dangers would require courage, intelligence, and ingenuity. But in that moment, he understood something fundamental. Humanity, even far from Earth, could adapt, endure, and triumph. The scene faded with the two figures standing amidst glowing consoles, the distant planet casting soft light across the deck, a symbol of the unknown challenges awaiting them. And somewhere in the shadows, the station waited, alive with potential, secrets, and the promise of the next trial. The end.